pretty tech savvy I am these days. You wait, tomorrow I'm going to work on how we can add some music for Shavasana or one of my pre-recorded yoga nidras. All right, guys. So just checking into that you've got a chair or a sofa or a piece of wall that you can throw your legs up on. If not, run and grab a chair now. Because, just wanted to do legs up on something for towards the end of today's class. If you've got a bolster too, you can always put a bolster under your hips and take your legs into the air. But let's start by coming into a reclined bound angle. Now, if you've got a blanket underneath you and you want to lie down on that, then lying down on that, and you can open it out. Otherwise, just lying down on your mat. And the reclined bound angle, lying flat on your back, and bring the soles of the feet together and just letting your knees fall out effortlessly. And then bring your hands to opposite elbow or forearm and resting your forearms back behind your head. Now, if that's not comfortable for your shoulders, please don't stay like this. You can bring your arms out to the side. Closing your eyes down. If at any stage it becomes uncomfortable in the inner thighs or your hips with the knees opened out in the bound angle, please feel free to bring your knees together and take the feet out a little bit wider. The eyes closed, breathing in and out through the nostrils. Taking this moment to arrive at your mat. And sometimes that can be a little harder when you are at home, where there is distractions, there is noise. Just really allowing yourself to let go and settle into the practice for the next hour. And as the body starts to settle into this shape, make any adjustments that you feel you need to be comfortable. And with the body starting to settle into this shape, bring awareness to your breath, breathing in and out through the nostrils. Air cool in the nostrils when you breathe in. Warm in the nostrils when you breathe out. And noticing the gentle movement of your body as you breathe in and out. Checking in how you're feeling emotionally this evening. You might have been running around all day after kids at school or at home. And take this opportunity, set yourself an intention for this evening's practice. What is it that you need most this evening? Word your intention as if it's already so.
And then repeat it to yourself 3 times. And with your intention set, if you haven't already, just slowly bringing your knees together. Take the feet out a little bit wider than the hips and let the knees lean in against each other. If your arms are back behind you, just bringing your arms by your side. And then taking the feet and the knees hips distance apart. Walk your heels in a little closer towards your buttocks. Bring your arms in by your side. Palms can be facing up or down, whatever feels more comfortable for your shoulders, or if you feel like you needed a little assistance from your arms. Press through the heels, the balls of the feet, so much so that it lifts your hips slightly, makes your hips light. Then keep actively pressing through the feet as you lift your tailbone, back of the pelvis, hips into the air. As you lift your chest, taking your chin towards your chest, chest towards your chin to bridge. And then exhale, slowly lowering down 1 vertebrae at a time. So pressing through the feet, the balls of the feet, all 10 toes, lifting the hips up. Taking chest towards chin, chin in towards chest. And then slowly lowering down. So as we lift and lower in and out of bridge, just thinking of this kind of like a cat-cow. As you lift your hips up into bridge, coming into cow, opening the chest, and as you exhale, sliding 1 vertebrae at a time down, tucking the tail under slightly, coming into cat. Again, initiate the lift by pressing through the feet, lifting your hips up. And exhale, slowly lowering the hips down. So here, creating a little bit of mobility for the spine, the hips. Once more, this time pause and hold with the hips in the air. Press actively through the feet. So you kind of get a sense of reaching your knees away from your chest. Relax your shoulders, and you can even externally rotate your arms and bring your shoulder blades in towards each other so you come right up onto your shoulders. Now, arms can either be by their side or you can interlace the fingers underneath you. Keep pressing actively through the feet. Now imagine you've got a $2 coin between your butt cheeks and drop it to the floor. So let it be the action of pressing the feet that lifts your hips, not the action of clenching your butt cheeks together. Take a couple of breaths here. Knowing you can come down at any time. You can lower a little out of the pose if that feels more comfortable. It's kind of a nice reversal to our everyday posture. You know, whether we've been sitting down at a desk or standing up, everything's in front of us. So we're opening into the front body, strengthening into the back body. And separating the hands, separate the shoulder blades, slowly lower the hips down. Take your arms out to the side in the form of a cross and letting the knees windscreen wipers side to side. Next time the knees fall to the right, keep the knees over to the right. Press firmly through your left foot. And then if it's comfortable on your left shoulder, reaching your left arm straight back behind you. It's like a big stretch first thing in the morning. Then arm out to the side, bring the knees back through the center, let the knees fall over towards the left, press a little firmer through your right foot. And if it's comfortable on your right shoulder, reach your right arm straight back behind you. Taking your arm out to the side, knees back to the center, and hugging your knees in towards your chest. If it feels good, gently rocking side to side. Then rolling all the way to the right. Press through your hands, come on up, and let's come up onto hands and knees into tabletop. So folding your blanket in half if you want a little bit more softness for underneath your knees, or if you're on a soft surface already, then you don't need to do that. So come into tabletop, hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, spreading your fingers comfortably, tuck the toes under. Bend the elbows, dropping shoulders away from the ears, and then hug the armpits in. Take a deep breath in, gently stretch the front body. And on the exhale, press the floor away, draw the chin in, round through the back, spreading the shoulder blades. Inhaling to cow, tuck the toes, bend the elbows. Exhale, pressing the floor away, drawing the chin in, spreading the shoulder blades, release the toes. We'll do one more cat-cow. Then releasing, coming back into a neutral spine, shifting your hands one whole hand's distance further forwards. Bend the elbows, tuck the toes, and press up into your down dog. Now, as you press to down dog, keep the knees slightly bent. Really push through the hands so you're getting the length in the spine, and you're tilting the pelvis so the sit bones are reaching up and back behind you. Pause here for a moment. If you're feeling tight in your calves, feel free to walk the dog where you're pressing down through one heel, then the other. Throughout the class, feel free to make whatever movement you feel you need. Next breath out, lowering the heels towards the floor. Keep pressing through the hands, lifting the sit bones, and we'll move on the breath. Inhale, lower the knees to the floor. Hands staying where they are, sending the hips back towards your heels to child's pose. Inhale, unfurl up onto hands and knees. Bend the elbows, tuck the toes, lift your hips up into down dog. Once more, lowering your knees to the floor, opening the chest to cow. Exhale, pressing back into child's pose. Unfurling to hands and knees. Tuck the toes, lift the sit bones high. And last time, lowering the knees to the floor. Exhale, send your hips back to your heels, lower your elbows, your forearms, interlace your fingers, and then press down through the forearms, the elbows, tuck the toes, and lift your hips to dolphin. Pushing down through the forearms firmly. You can still have a little knee bend, tilt in the pelvis, but push through the forearms to lift up out of shoulders. So dolphin is great for strengthening and opening tight shoulders. Easiest and safest way to strengthen and open tight, weak shoulders. Inhale, lower the knees to the floor. Separate the hands, shoulder width apart. Come up onto hands and knees. Tuck the toes, lift to down dog. Lift your right leg into the air, three-legged dog. As you lift your right leg to three-legged dog, keep the left knee bent. So as you press through your hands, you get that line of energy from your fingertips right through to your heel. Exhale, knee up and into the chest. Big step through, heel ball toe landing. Help it through if you need to. High lunge. Feet are about hips distance here. So bend the back knee, press down through the feet, and unfurl up. Relax your shoulders. Steady your eye gaze on one point. Take a couple of breaths here, and you can be playing with the edge of your left leg, so start to extend it. But if you extend it so far that it tilts your pelvis forward, keep it slightly bent and then push. You can kind of be tilting your pelvis forward or back as you straighten your legs. So there's sort of a resistance of push and pull going on. Inhale, releasing hands to the floor, step back into down dog. Lifting left leg into the air, three-legged dog. So again, this time keeping your right knee bent as you reach back through the heel. Exhale, knee up and into the chest. Lift the hips, step through, high lunge. Feet about hips distance, press down through the feet, unfurl up. Relax your shoulders, neck and jaw. Start to play with the edge of your right leg. As you stretch or work on stretching your right heel back, lift the breastbone. So there's kind of like this lengthening in opposite directions.
Releasing hands to the floor. Step back into down dog. Lowering your knees to the floor. Keep the toes tucked under. Come up sitting on your heels into toe squat, or know that you can release your toes at any time, or come up onto your knees if that's more comfortable. Interlace the fingers behind. Bring your knuckles over to the right side of your waist, and then let the head drop to the right. Inhaling upright, bringing your knuckles over to the left, and then letting your head drop to the left. And lifting the head. And coming onto hands and knees, I'm just going to take my shirt off. It's getting a bit warm. When you're ready, pressing up into down dog. From your down dog, lift right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Knee to chest, lift the hips up, big step through. Anchor the back heel down, line up front heel, middle out to the back foot. Warrior two, front knee stays stacked as you press through the feet and lift up through the torso, reaching through the fingertips. Now you can be down as low or as high as what feels comfortable for you this evening, but really allow there to be a depth into the right hips crease. You can rotate the ribs and the chest open. Relax down through your shoulders. Steady your eye gaze over your front middle finger. Stay strong through your legs. Lower the arms down. Lead with your right elbow and extending all the way up the front side of the body. Push down through the feet. Reach through the fingertips. Reach through the crown of your head. Eye gaze can be straight up or you can look straight ahead. Wherever is comfortable for your neck. We keep actively pushing down through the feet, reaching your fingertips away from each other. So there's a sense of lift and lengthening, not a sinking and dropping. Then lowering your right arm, wrap it all the way behind. If it wiggles around to your left waist, let it wriggle around. Turn your chest slightly towards the front. Keep pressing actively into the feet and reach forward as you tip forward, reach through the crown of the head. So you're really going to push into your left foot to get the reach through the crown of the head. Then revolve the chest, keeping the arm behind, or feel free to release it and bring your forearm to your thigh. Then moving on the breath, left arm, circle your chest down, reach the hand down, reach forward, and then keeping your arm wrapped behind or on your forearm, revolve your chest towards the front. Actively pressing into your foot, reach out through the top hand, so side angle pose, making that long length through the side of the body. Press into the feet, circle the top arm back, down and around, come back into warrior two. Eye gaze over your front middle finger. Then press into your front leg, release the arms lower and straighten your leg. Pivot your feet around to the other side of your mat. Warrior two, so bend the front knee, press into the feet, reach up and out through the arms. Steady the eye gaze down the front middle finger. Relax your shoulders. Inhale, release the arms down, and then lead with your left elbow up. Fingertips lengthen away from each other. Be down as low or as high in the pose as where serves you this evening, but press through the feet and reach and lengthen. Take the eye gaze to where's comfortable for your neck. Then lowering your left arm, wrapping it behind. Turn your chest slightly towards the front. Push into your right foot. Deepen the left hips crease as you reach the crown of the head forwards. So really deepening the hips crease. Then circling the right arm down. Reach it forwards. Revolve the chest. Remember, you can always bring your forearm out onto your thigh. But lengthen, press into little toe side of the right foot. Reach out through your right hand. To circle the chest down. Press through the feet. Open the arms out. And straightening your front leg, release the arms. Turn your feet to the side where the toes are slightly in, heels slightly out. Hands to your hips. Take a deep breath in. Lift your chest. Exhale. Start to tip forward from the hips. Keeping the knees bent so the flexion comes from the hips. And once you get to your edge, release the hands underneath the shoulders. Relax your shoulders, relax your neck, and let the head hang. Pressing the hands, lifting your chest. Pivot your hands back around to the front of your mat. Step your back foot into forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Press the floor away, rising up. And exhaling, hands to the heart center. See how your balance is this evening. So bring your hands to your hips as we practice tree pose. Steady your eye gaze on one point. Bend, get close to the earth. Press into your left foot, lifting your right. Do this as few or as many times as you need to. Once you feel like you've got your balance, hold the leg up, opening the knee a little out to the side, foot below or above the knee. But focus on one point. Find your drishti point, hands on your hips or palms together. And you can take your arms up overhead. But really root down through your left foot and reach up through the fingertips. Grow a little bit taller from the action of pushing down. And slowly releasing the hands, releasing the knee to the front and down. Move this out of the way. Come away from the bugs a little. Let's move on to the other foot. Bend your knees, press into your right foot, lifting your left. Do that as few or as many times as you need to. Once you've got your balance, pause and hold. Open the knee out. Foot below or above the knee. Palms can be on your hips, together in the heart center or up overhead. Then press down, root down through your right foot. Grow a little bit taller. Keep focusing on your drishti point. And to come out, releasing the hands down, knee to the front and foot down. Come to the top of your mat if you're not there already. Lifting the arms up overhead. We'll do 3 sun breaths. Exhale, bend the knees, folding forwards, belly to thigh, chest to knees, chin to chest. Half forward fold, sitting the hips down, press down through the feet, rising up. And exhaling, hands to the heart center. And again, deep breath in, lifting up. Bend your knees, folding forwards, belly to thigh, chest to knees, chin to chest. Half forward fold. Press down, rise up. And doing one more. It's following the rhythm of your own breath. As you take in the prana with the movement, getting the energy flowing through, releasing any tightness, blockages. And lifting your arms up overhead. Bend your knees, folding forwards. Half forward fold. Stepping back into down dog. Lifting your right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Knee to chest, core plank. Squeeze the knee and shoulders over your wrist. Lift your knee right up into your chest. Lifting it up away from the floor. Deep breath in. And then lowering your knee to the floor. Turn towards your left, pivoting on your right knee. And then bringing the weight onto your right hand and your left hand to your hip. So you're turning towards the left. Then shift your right hand a hand's distance further forward. So then you can lift your left leg into the air, flexing your left foot, the leg that's in the air, pushing out through the heel. So the thighs engaged, your glutes engaged. And if you want to take your arm up, taking the arm up, but pushing down through your right hand, out through your heel, out through the crown of your head. Lower your left hand to your hip, lower your left foot to the floor, come up onto your knee, pivot all the way to the side if you haven't already, so that you get a bit of a hips crease into the left side. You might need to push your butt back a little bit, but you can see if I don't find that left hips crease, that my left hip is higher. My hands are on my hips here, so my left hip is higher. So deepening the hips crease, I'm moving my hips back and down. And then resting your left hand down the side, right arm out to the side, turn the whole of your right arm up, lifting up out of the waist and coming over into a side bend. Relax your shoulders, just let them soften away from the ears. You can look down, straight ahead, or look up, wherever is comfortable for your neck. One more full breath in and out here. And then inhaling up, bringing the hands back down, lowering your knee to the floor, tuck the toes and press back into down dog. Lifting your left leg into the air, three-legged dog. Knee to chest, core plank, shoulders are over the wrist, knee squeeze it right up into the chest, push the hands into the floor. Deep breath in, and then exhale, lower your knee to the floor. Just gonna spin around so you can see me and I can see you. And so right leg's back, pivoting on the left knee towards turning your torso towards the right. Right hand to hip, and then shift your left hand, hands distance further forward, so you can transfer the weight, lifting your right leg into the air. Push out through the heel, squeeze your thigh, squeeze your glute. If you want to, you can take your arm up, but think from hand to hand reaching and heel to crown reaching. Steady right gaze, it is a balance. Then lowering your hand to your hip, lower your foot, lifting up onto your knee, turn your hips to the front, deepen the, twisting on my pants, deepen your hips crease. Right hand down, left arm out to the side, turn the whole palm up, lifting up out of the waist and over into a side bend. Parigasana, or gate pose. Turn the head to where's comfortable for your neck. Inhale, lifting up, releasing your hands to the floor. If you want a blanket underneath your knees, place a blanket back underneath your knees. Come into child's pose with knees wide. Sending the hips back and just resting where it's comfortable for you. Pressing through your hands, lifting your chest up. Let's come around and make our Viparita Karani variation, legs up on something. So you probably heard me say in class before, and this comes from, Graham, our Chinese barefoot doctor, with the kidneys, is that, it's between like 5:30 and 6:30 where the right kidney is exhausted and it's already blown out. And it's around that time, 5:30, between 5:30 and 6:30, where it's recommended to elevate your legs. So obviously between 5:30 and 6:30 isn't ideal for women because we're often getting dinner ready, getting kids ready for bed, etc. So better late than never, right? So either if you're beside your bed, you can throw your legs up onto the bed. If you've got a chair, just bring the chair in onto your mat. And then the same way that we would come into legs up the wall, sit side onto your bed, your wall, or your chair. Oh, I'm going to open this blanket out underneath, or it'll be right underneath the center of my back. So if you've got a blanket there, make sure you do the same. So coming side on to your prop and then leaning back on the forearms, taking the legs up. Now, ideally, we want the edge of the chair to be at the crease of the knee so that you've got a 90-degree angle, as opposed to, say, I was back further here. You can see there's a diagonal. So we want the hips underneath the knees and the knee crease on the edge of your bed or your chair. If your legs are up the wall, then just straightening the legs up the wall. But turning your palms to face up, or you can have your arms back behind you, chin in towards your throat. Close your eyes down and just relaxing here for a moment. Viparita Karani, apart from, switching us over into that nurturing side of the kidneys, the left side. It's good for restless legs. So whether you've been sitting at a desk all day and, the blood pooling into the lower limbs, but also if you've got restless, tired legs from running around all day, it serves that as well. Helps with our circulation, but also gives the heart a rest. Listen to the sound of your breath. If your mind is busy, count your breath. Inhale for a count of 4. Exhale for a count of 5 or 6. Making your exhale a little bit longer.
Preparing to come out of our variation of Viparita Karani. And start by bending your knees, bringing your knees in towards your chest. If it's comfortable, rocking side to side. And then rolling all the way to the right. Pressing your hands into the floor, coming up and getting ready for Shavasana. Now Shavasana, just like in the studio, now have a soft underneath you. If you've got a bolster, put the bolster behind your knees. If you don't have a bolster, place a pillow or a cushion off the sofa, just something so that you can bring flexion into your hips, your knees, and your ankles, which will help the relaxation response. Make sure that you're warm and place something over your eyes. So it doesn't have to be an eye pillow, maybe even just a shirt or a hand towel. That just helps you to go a little bit more within. I'm going to set my timer for 15 minutes, so you don't need to worry about what time it is. And when it's time to come out, I will ding my bell. I'm going to mute myself now so that there's no feedback from the mic. So we'll see you on the other side.
Taking a deep breath in and out. And start to wiggle your fingers, your toes. Just making whatever movements you feel you need to awaken from Shavasana. Might want to stretch your arms and legs long or hug your knees in towards your chest. And then eventually bending your knees up, rolling to the right, pressing your hands into the floor and come up into a comfortable seated position. Bring the palms together in the heart center and take a moment to repeat your intention to yourself once more. Then let's finish tonight's practice by chanting together once the mantra Om, which connects us all as we all have the divine within us. Let's take a deep breath in. Bring your thumbs to your forehead. Namaste. Just gonna switch off the mic and then put you all back on so we can say hey.